Welcome to our Cozee Fireside Chat.
Hi, good morning. Welcome back. This is episode 3 of the Fireside Chat. This is Tiffany.
Hello, everyone.
This is Sam.
Hi.
And I'm Allison. So today we're going to be talking about mental health wellness, and we're going to be talking about the home-work-life balance. So Tiffany, what is the most important thing you think about having a good home-work-life balance?
I think that you have to take into account, that there needs to be a separation between, having your business and leaving it there, and then raising your family and leaving that there. I do believe in mixing the two a couple of times, depending on the situation, because you have your activities that you do and your dinners and, gatherings with your staff and your coworkers. But for the most part, I believe that a healthy separation is the best way to go about it to be successful.
Totally agree with you. What do you think about that, Sam?
I think that having a balance between work and life is extremely important. I mean, you can't do your job to your best ability unless you're able to separate your work from your life. Yeah.
I agree. I think it really reduces burnout, like we were discussing earlier.
Yes, it does. And it's a real thing. And, working in this kind of environment, we'll either face like high stress moments, or it's feast or famine, basically. We're obviously a seasonal business. I mean, we have grown to a point where we can actually start saying that we're not just seasonal anymore, because we are being consistent and we are growing every year. But along with that comes the challenge of stress. And yes, we were talking about burnout because it's a real thing and it affects every aspect of your life. So if you, for here, especially working here, if I see that anyone is getting to that point, you're getting a day off. Whether you want to or not, you're getting a day off. So, I mean, I feel like that's important.
I think it's also a very important thing to be able to talk about. And it's a healthy thing to talk about in the workplace because, like you said, it's very real.
It is.
And from the employee standpoint, having an environment where we can have discussions like that and we can feel comfortable enough to discuss and know that our bosses also understand what burnout is and that it is something to be taken very seriously makes a difference. Absolutely.
Definitely.
And I do the same thing with my kids. If I'm noticing that they're stressed out and getting to that point, I give them a day too, because they deserve that mental break too. There's just high stresses in so much of our lives every day, and I really think that that's another reason why, and I could be wrong, a lot of women decide not to go into certain industries for certain jobs, because I feel like there's still this stigma or barrier against the roles in people's homes or in their lives, where some women still feel like that's a man's world. For me, I don't feel that way. I'm totally on the opposite end of that. I feel like we're going to start moving progressively towards where we're completely equal in this, if not growing more. Not saying anything, bad.
Well, we're looking at hiring some female technicians and getting them involved in Climate Plus and just the trade industry as well, and encouraging that, right?
Absolutely. That would be
awesome.
Amazing. That's why going to these schools and creating these hiring events here are so important, because you want everyone to see that, wow, look at all this diversity. Look at how great this is. Everybody coming together and wanting to work, for a similar reason and similar cause. And I just feel like having more women involved in this industry is a really good look, and believe it or not, our market, usually we tend to the woman of the house. And sometimes they're elderly and or sick, and sometimes they're afraid of having a male technician in their house. So, it's not all the time, obviously. I mean, we've run into it a couple of times, and I mean, I feel like it would be a nice change up to have some more female technicians on board.
Of course. I agree. Yeah.
So that's a great jumping off point, Tiffany. Why would you recommend a woman to be a technician?
Well, I think I'm going to say it gives a woman, and this is just my opinion, obviously, a sense of like, I don't know, empowerment to know that, yeah, you know what, I can keep up in this field just as good as a man can. And that's why I also believe in, the organization of women in HVAC. So, I mean, for them, you don't just have technicians. You have obviously managers and owners, and it has grown quite substantially within the last couple of years, which is so amazing to see. And I can't wait to be a part of going back to the conventions this year and getting involved a lot more with it. But yeah, I think it's a great thing for women to, find themselves in a predicament where they're like, oh wow, did not ever see myself in this kind of industry. But I mean, I don't know, it grows on you.
Absolutely.
It wasn't for me at first, but I obviously, throughout the years I've grown to absolutely love it.
Yeah, I mean, coming into an industry that is mostly dominated by men for how long? Forever. Stepping into a field like that definitely is something that the opportunities are open. And I think that there's also something to be said about, we are going into people's homes and taking care of them when sometimes they're the most stressed out they can be. These people, a lot of times you don't think of your HVAC all the time like you do in the way you think about cars, getting a new car and getting a new home or something like that. I think that there's something to be said about women and our nurturing in general, typically kind of
Very true.
Stepping into people's homes and taking care of them. So,
And going off what you guys said, it's such a thrilling thing because it could be at any point in your life you choose to switch it up.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be what you want to do all your life. At any point you can just say, you know what, I'm going to get into this.
Yeah.
Why not?
Back to the whole work-home life balance, I had to learn to really do a lot of time management because I was home with my children. I was doing, running the business aspect, behind the scenes. Joe's out on the road, long days, long nights. Sometimes went and see him for a couple days at a time. So it wasn't always easy, but I do feel that it was rewarding, and I definitely don't regret it at all. None of it.
That's great to hear, too. We were wondering, what do you suggest to people who are looking to get into the trade and who are currently in the trade in terms of anything really, and work-life balance, how to manage that?
I'm going to say that I feel like if this is really, truly a path that you want to go on and experience, I think that you should. And you shouldn't feel intimidated by it or feeling like maybe you wouldn't be good enough for it. I do feel like there is a fit for this trade in particular for many different people and many different personalities. Seeing how our guys interact with each other and how great they work with each other, and that's something that, there's a lot to be said for that, because you don't have a lot of companies that you work for that it doesn't just feel like work. This truly does feel like a family. Mm-hmm. And I think that if you could go for any job or any career that you are going to want to go for and love, then you do it with the right people. So
yeah,
I think that would balance everything out and you'd be a much happier person.
Support system is everything.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us on the Fireside Chat. As always, please follow our social medias and keep cozy with Climate Plus. Thank you.
I thought it was
Keep cozy with Climate Plus. That's
right. We're doing it.